Morning, this is Dave Johnson with Day Trade the Markets, and we're looking at a 2-minute chart of the January crude contract. We're utilizing the Day Trade the Market software. So today is Thursday, December the 8th, 2016, and the main reason for getting long here in the crude, even though yesterday, well, you can see all of yesterday's trade, we had the news, the inventory news, which is released every Wednesday, and that's what the market did here. It reacted. It initially popped up and then came down, had a good bit of selling, and then really stayed within that range for the rest of the day. Poked a little bit above it here, and I'm talking where this magenta started, poked a little bit above it here, and late in the day poked a little bit below it here. So we're still in value, in other words, after the since the news was released. But what I like about this long trade is that, by the way, we've been filled on 4 of these contracts because I had 2 orders in there, so it just dipped down. So average price is at 50.20. I'm going to go ahead and put in my protective sell stop just below the low of the day. You can see the low of the day right here at 50.10, so I'm going to put it just a couple of ticks below there at, I think I'll put it at 07, so the sell stop is at 7. We're long from 20, so it's a 13 tick risk on this trade. Now, our first objective here isn't too much above here, obviously, because this is where the market had an early consolidation and poked its head up in here into the just above 50.30. So I'm actually going to go ahead and sell 2 of these contracts, or half the position for a 10 tick profit at 50.30. Slightly less than what our risk is, but just below the current high of the day, which I think is a reasonable objective for the first objective of this trade, and then obviously looking for it to get up into this area here around 50, 45 to 50. Of course, we had the high over here. It was formed yesterday. I think got up to 50, 53. So in that area is really the next objective. And I think what I will then do, or I'm actually going to do it right now, is I'm going to put another sell limit in. And I think on this one I'll put it another 10 ticks higher at 50.40, but we'll just sell 1 at that time. So we've got 2 objectives in place. We've got our protective sell stop in there. And I like these trades because whenever you have a selling spike like this that doesn't really have follow through, I mean, you could say, I mean, there's different ways to determine the top of this selling spike. Perhaps as high as up here, which is at 44, perhaps as low as here, which is the top of the really aggressive selling, which is the magenta bar, or perhaps even here. But either one of these 2 lower ones, the market is obviously having a tough time getting back down below them. It has stayed below the 25 for most of today, but it has not stayed below 50.16, which is the top of this magenta bar from yesterday. So I'm looking at that as more of a bullish indication for today. And of course, the crude has been in a more of a bullish mode over these past week or 2. We have had a bit of a sell-off lately, but since we had a really good movement higher a little over a week ago, the market has moved up considerably. So I'm considering this to be in an intraday up auction, and do have the preference to be on the long side, unless we've got some really good structure that would lead us to believe that we could obtain some good trade entry location for an intraday trade in the opposite direction. So good, we just got filled here. So I'm going to go ahead and just put in a marker right here at 30. This is our first objective. Got filled on that. And then what I'm also going to do is put another one up here. And I think what I will also do is I need to change our stop on here to 2 contract because we only got 2 left. Oh, it just moved up nicely there. I'm going to bring that to break even. Plus, we're probably going to get a paint bar here with aggression. Okay, we just hit 40, so that's good. So this bar that's just forming right now is likely to be an aggression bar, and the low of that's at 24. I'm going to put my stop just a tick below it at, I'll put it a couple of ticks below it at 22. So we've now been filled on these 2 positions here. So that's good. We just have one contract left. I'll put a marker here for where the stop is, and I need to adjust that down to just one. So we just have the one contract in here right now left on the crude market. So, okay, yeah, it just came in. So it is a green bar. That's the second strongest of the three aggression bars that we have on the buy side. It's the light green, green, and then blue is the most aggressive. So this is a very aggressive buying bar, which is good to see because it took out the earlier high. Now the next test is really to get up above this area that I was mentioning from 45 to 53, which is the resistance trade location zone from yesterday. So I think we've only got the one contract left here. We've got a stop in here for a couple of ticks profit on it, but we've made 20 ticks on the first objective and a total of 20 ticks because we had two contracts that we exited for 10 ticks each, so that's a total of 20, and then another 20 when we got out of here at 40 for just the one contract. So we're looking good here. We're up 40 ticks so far. We've locked in another two, so worst case scenario is 42 ticks on this trade. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the recording, and I'm just going to use a trailing stop as our aggression unfolds, if in fact it does, on this final contract. So I'll pause the recording and pick it up as the market dictates. Okay, restarting the recording again. We just had another green bar, this time a light green, but you see it did dip down here to 32. So I'm going to raise the stop up here to 29. So our stop is now at 29 for this final contract here. So I just want to bring you up to date on that. And once again, we'll pause the recording. Okay, just want to resume the recording. We are getting some follow through higher here. You can see we just formed a blue bar that's has actually broken through the resistance area that I was mentioning from roughly 53 down to about 45. And that's a good sign, obviously, and we'd like to see some follow through on that. But just in case we do get rejected here, I'm going to go ahead and make an adjustment on the stop. The low of this blue bar is right here at 46, so I'm going to raise the stop up here to 43 and put in this marker right here for us. So that's nice because now we've been able to lock in another 23 ticks. And of course, we've already made, what was it, 20 and 20? Yeah, we're already at 40. So 40 and 23. So we've locked in 63 ticks so far in this trade. And, hopefully it's going to keep going. It's broken through a fairly important area here. So whether or not it's just going to probe up here, get rejected, and come back, it's hard to tell. At this point, it looks like it's still got good strength. The low of that blue bar where my arrow is pointing, I'd like to see that hold. If the buying is strong as it's come through here and has legs to it, in other words, it's going to continue, then the lowest it should get would be around about the low of that blue bar, but really not much less. So, and also the 43 price is a little bit below that earlier resistance, roughly from 45 to 53. So I think we're in a good spot for a protective sell stop. We'll just let the market unfold. So once again, I'll go ahead and pause the recording and pick it up as the market dictates. Okay, just restarted the recording. We just got filled right here at our stop. So 23 ticks on that final contract. So a total of 63 ticks on that trade. It worked out really nicely. As I was saying a moment ago, that it was hard to tell whether or not we would continue on up here. So it appears, at least at this time, that this probe up has found some fairly good selling. Okay, we just got an aggressive selling bar here, and it's back below that 50 area. So this could be, somewhat bearish for the rest of the day, or at least for the foreseeable future, and it might be offering us a short trade. But we'll go ahead and stop this recording now. If you've got any questions or comments, go ahead and send it to us at info@daytradethemarkets.com. I hope you enjoyed this trade and learned something from it. In particular, trade management using our aggression bars that are produced in real time, as you can see with the Day Trade the Market software. So thanks for watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time.